Most people assume that when they sell to a cash buyer that they're getting ripped off. But there's actually a lot of situations that it makes a lot of sense for an owner to sell to a cash buyer rather than trying to list their home. If we haven't met before, my name is John Cummings. I'm with Dadlife Property Solutions. We're a local family run operation and we fix and flip homes, we renovate them, we rent them. And mostly we're just trying to help homeowners throughout the Lehigh Valley to sell their homes as quickly and as easily as possible and try to be the most trustworthy source for you for information. Even if that means that you don't work with us, we're going to try to give you the best information. Today, I want to talk about what kind of situations might you be in that you want to sell for an off-market cash offer to someone like myself. Situation number one that I see is major repairs that are needed. An example of one of those repairs is, roof repairs. A roof is a high ticket item for a lot of people. If you have a leaky roof and you have a larger roof or a very high pitched roof, it can be very expensive. I'll be talking about foundation issues, water damage. Water damage is a big one, especially with this past winter. I've actually run into 3 or 4 different individuals. One of them in particular is trying to work with their insurance company that's not really working with them. They want them to fix the problem. Or, they had a pipe burst. It was a home that's been vacant for some time. It was their parents' home. Again, they're older. They had to move them out of the home. The house sat vacant over the winter. Pipe burst, and what do you know? They have a waterfall coming out of their house. It sits for months because they have to work through the insurance, and it's just over time, it just gets worse and worse and worse as you let things sit because not everybody has $30,000 that they could spend to fix a lot of these problems. Finally, they call me. It's been a year since this problem occurred. What happened is that actually the water damaged, another pipe burst in that time and damaged all the repairs that they made prior to this. So now at this point, they're battling with the insurance. They can't even get the insurance to pay for everything. They could easily be coming out of pocket over $100,000 to just fix the home. And not everybody can do that. It's one of a good example that I'm currently working on in the Lehigh Valley that someone needs to sell for a cash offer. And the benefit is that you don't need to come out of pocket to pay for these things. You don't have to deal with any of the headache to fix these repairs. Situation number two that I see a lot is inherited properties. If you inherited your property from your parents, or if your parents passed away, unfortunately, I see it all the time. You have a property, maybe you're out of state, right? And you have this property that you have inherited and have the bandwidth to take care of this property. Maybe you haven't been in the area, you're not in the area, or even again, like the situation I just had with the individuals that are taking care of their parents' home. They didn't inherit it yet, but they're trying to take care of it. And it's a brother and a sister, and they might not agree on the path forward. So a lot of times these inherited properties, it's much easier rather than working through probate and working through all the situations that you have to work through to sell to an off-market cash buyer such as myself. Situation number three is tired landlords. So again, I'm seeing this more and more often as we get a lot of the baby boomers who had gotten into the mom and pop space of renting properties. And actually working with another individual that I'm looking to buy a 6 unit from in Bethlehem. This individual, they have a lot of deferred maintenance. They've had tenants in there for 30 years that are still there. Their rents are way below market. I mean, we're talking like $600-700 a month. So realistically, the property could be worth much more, but the landlord is looking to retire. They want to buy something in Florida. They want to move. They want to take that money, 1031 exchange it, and put it into a property in Florida and be done. And they don't want to have to do all the renovations and go increase the rents and do the turnover of the units. I mean, that could take a year or two just to do that. And they just want to be done, right? That's another prime example of someone that would sell to an individual like me. And currently I'm working on a deal like that right in Bethlehem. And again, these things come up quite often. If you've been in the market or if you've had a property for a long time, there's always going to be something that's deferred, and you're really looking for the convenience to offload the property rather than making the absolute top dollar for your property. Situation number four, and this is multiple situations, but it's life transitions. You could be going through a divorce. You could be going through a job relocation. You could have financial pressures. Maybe you lost your job. Maybe you had some medical bills come up. There's a lot of situations that require you to make decisions that you weren't thinking about ahead of time. And these are just things that, we say life happens, right? And sometimes life happens and you need a convenient, easy, quick way out. And that's one of the reasons that a lot of people come to us, is because that's what we're doing. We're providing that service. We're trying to help your situation. And if we can't, we will tell you, and we will, try to advise you on the best path forward. A situation number 5 that I'm seeing a little more often now, and it's the house did not sell on market. You could have a listing that you tried to list previously, maybe buyers backed out, you had inspection issues, now you have to disclose those issues. If you listed home and it didn't sell because of whatever happened, maybe the buyer's financial situation changed, it might not even be an issue with the property, but unfortunately, as soon as a property sits on market, it gets a stigma, especially in the Lehigh Valley right now. If you're above 15 days on market, a lot of people start asking questions about what is wrong with this house. And there might not be anything wrong with the house. It just might be something that happened with the buyer, to be honest with you. But if you listed it and it didn't sell, or if you had a listing expire, or if your agent that you're working with sucks, again, it's a very good possibility. We have a lot of agents in the Lehigh Valley, and they're not all good, trust me. And you just want an easy, you don't want to pay the transfer fees, the transfer taxes. You don't have to deal with any of that. You don't want to deal with showings that you already tried to, and you just want a convenient way out. That's another reason. Now, I want to be clear, right? Selling to us or any other investor for a cash offer or off market, it's not always the best financial decision. And in most cases, you're not going to make the most money. There's very rare circumstances that you're going to make more money with someone like me or equal than doing some work yourself and listing it on the market. So I want to be very transparent with that. If you're calling us, you're likely under the assumption that you're not going to make the top dollar that you could, rather than just listing it. But if you're in one of these situations, or if you've maybe worked with us in the past, feel free to leave a comment below, ask a question. Again, if you're in one of these situations and you just want to talk through your options, feel free to give me a call. All my information is in the description below. You can call me, email me, text me. We work with sellers like this all the time. Trust me when I say your situation is likely not that unique, and there's others that are going through the same thing that you are. So don't feel too overwhelmed. There's always an option on the table that we can work through. So I hope this video helped you. I hope it gave you some information. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and reach out. All right, have a good one.